A guy named Fishback won his case. We was wrongfully sentenced too. Those of us that took a jury from 95 to 2000, they wasn't telling the jury that parole had been abolished.
Just like my father on my dog. And millions of dollars and the victim's family have not partaken. None of those trusts took your gold, gave it. Took your language, gave it.
100% way to survive jail or prison. Don't go.
Build you credit up. Why you need credit?
Then 12 years goes by and you don't even get a chance to go up for parole.
Supposed to die so many times, guess that's my afterlife. A lot of shit ain't work for me.
On Team Banky Pound, man, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Y'all know I've been talking to y'all about, starting this new podcast, Living Life After Life podcast with Banky Pound and Troy Ketchmore, where today I want to give y'all insight on who Troy Ketchmore is. We have Troy Ketchmore in the flesh.
For sure.
You understand? So,
for sure.
Yes. So we're going to be chopping it up a little bit today so y'all can get an understanding of who Troy Ketchmore is. In short, from me, he's a dude that I met in prison. One of the solid dudes that I met. We instantly clicked, because of his personality, my personality. We remain friends. His plight was 26 years.
26 years, 8 months.
26 years,
Wrongfully
8 months.
Convicted.
Wrongfully convicted. Now, y'all know my plight. Y'all know what I went through or whatever. And I can only imagine, the things that y'all have heard from me, the way I've explained to you what the prison experience was. Just imagine all of that, for decades for something that you did not do. So he absolutely, positively has a story to tell, man, and some good wisdom and information to share with y'all, man. And that's what we're going to be doing on this podcast, Living Life After Life podcast, man. Troy, talk to the people. Let them know who you are, man.
First of all, salute. I am Troy Ketchmore, Newport News, born and raised, Bad News, downtown. Grew up, going to get it, surviving, getting it how we live. Fast forward, I was involved in a situation March 8th, 1995 that ended up, a friend of mine got killed by accident. I took him to the hospital.
Right.
So I had an altercation with a guy and, I reached, trying to, prevent him from shooting me. I swung at him, he hit my arm, my gun discharged. I fell on the ground, he pulled his gun out, shot at me. I jumped up, ran in my car for cover. He chased me, shooting at me. And when I got around my car, I had a guy in the front passenger seat. My man that got killed was in the back seat. They would shoot through the back window to keep him from killing me. And my friend in the back seat accidentally got hit, So I jumped in the car, take him to the hospital. They ended up locking me up, charged me with first-degree murder. Now, me and him pulled up together.
Right.
And all the testimony said I went to the residence to give my son a gift.
Right.
So I didn't go there to commit a crime, This is something that just happened. And so at the end of the day, the prosecutor ended up withholding exculpatory evidence from the trial. My attorney knew about it. He had the forensic report with it on there. They had it. It never came out in trial, it was never mentioned. The only thing it said was I shot 6 times, but I got a 4-page report from Dr. Michael Batten, same guy that did the autopsy on George Floyd and Michael Brown.
Right.
That clearly shows that all 6 of the bullets you say I shot are accounted for. None of them hit the victim. Only one left that could have killed him was number 7, shot by another gun, same caliber. They never mentioned it, but they knew about it.
Right.
And their witness, they put him on the stand, allowed him to lie and say he shot a revolver, which never existed, So they ended up trying me under transfer intent, saying that if I tried to shoot the guy I was beefing with and accidentally shot my friend, and that intent follows the bullet. However, they had a duty by law to prove that I actually shot him before you can transfer anything, because we didn't go to the residence to commit a crime acting in concert.
Right.
Right? So they allowed their witness to lie and said, he shot out of self-defense because bullets was coming in the car and he was feared for his life. But you're saying I premeditated to go there and commit a crime, so those two different motives. So with that being the case, you have a duty to prove that I shot him beyond a reasonable doubt. And the physical evidence would not even allow you to do that.
Right.
Unless you hold it and it never see the light of day. And that's what happened. And my attorney must have been in cahoots, because the only way this DA would be so arrogant to pursue me for first-degree murder, knowing that they had a duty to prove that I'm the one that actually shot him, is if he knew for a fact that this lawyer that had this evidence was not going to mention it. And that's what happened.
And then the result of that, you ended up spending 26 years, 8 months in prison.
26 years, 8 months. I filed. I had AI buying me lawyer after lawyer after lawyer. They was
AI
taking that
being
money.
Allen Iverson.
Yeah. He fought hard. My family fought.
Right.
And they was taking that money. They was hiding behind procedure rules. Is what they're doing in Virginia. Is genocide. Is wrong. They fight and hide behind procedure rules because they don't want to deal with the merits of guys' cases. Because if you deal with the merits of guys' cases, then a lot of guys that's actually innocent will come home.
Right.
You know, and you have an actual innocent written now that they revise the preponderance of the evidence. However, you're still holding on to procedure defaults to keep from viewing the merits of guys' cases. You know, and it should come down to either I did it or I didn't.
So in essence, when that all happened, what was your sentence? What did they sentence you to when they
sentenced me to 43 years under the new law, 85%. So I was to do 37 straight. The only reason I'm home is because a guy named Fishback won his case. We was wrongfully sentenced too. Those of us that took a jury from 95 to 2000, they wasn't telling the jury that parole had been abolished. So they said we was wrongfully sentenced. Fishback got rhythm, but they didn't make it retroactive. So, you know, the governor, everybody was like, that's not right. So they enacted a provision in the law to put us under parole. And I had the head prosecutor, Howard Gwynn, his office, my attorney, Jared Adams, took him my paperwork to show him that I'm innocent.
Right.
He wrote an extensive letter asking the parole board to free me on the strength of that. I had the victim's family write a statement saying they know I'm innocent, they want me free, and they called the parole board.
Right.
And asked them to release me, and they granted me parole. And that's how I got home. I've been home a year so far.
A year. Now, you know, during the amount of time you did and the amount of time I did, I know personally what it takes to, you know, to endure that. You know what I'm saying? But let the people know who don't know, man. What was your mindset, man? You know, going in there, you know, seeing year after year tick off, man, knowing that you sitting in here for, you know, something that you didn't do, you know, and then, you know, in your mind, you still have to have that mindset, like, you know, I got to do 37 years. You know, you're hoping that something going to happen, you know what I'm saying, in between that, because you know the facts, you know that you shouldn't be there. But at the same time, you know, when you in that belly of the beast, you have to have a mindset of well, I'm in here, so I got to be able to live like I'm here, because, you know, people get to looking at the streets and not pay attention to what's in front of them. Yeah. And we in a danger zone when we in there, you know, every day, you know, you can lose your life. So what was your mindset to carry you through them 26 years, 8 months that you was able to come out here and hit the ground running?
Well, I mean, my mind went through stages, because initially I went in young. I was 21 when I got locked up. I made it to prison when I was 22. And when I went to prison was dangerous.
Yeah, most
you
definitely.
Even the softest dude, you would think he was hard, you know. Everybody worked out when I went to prison.
What year you went in?
I went in 95.
Okay.
The old heads made me go to school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I hung with the old heads. But they made me go to school. You know, they took a liking to me. One, Angelo threw me a book. You got a week. Like, and we would go from the chow hall to the rocks and build every day. And I'm sitting there, I'm this young kid, and I'm listening to them building, and it's like, till one day I started building and jumping in, and all of them got quiet and just looked at me. Yeah. You know, like they seeing the young child growing up.
Right.
So I took on the mentality of the individuals in there. It was a whole new world I had to learn, you know.
Right.
'Cause I left the street with a few dollars thinking I was the guy, but in here, didn't nobody care about that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So you had to earn your name all over again.
Yeah.
And I remember, situation jumped off on the mountains, man, you know, where they called child and 2 buildings came out and just clashed.
Right.
And all you see was dust and stabbing and they was getting to it.
Like
and I was like, it messed me up because I was like, how did they schedule that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When dudes, you hit the young something on site. No, that was on site.
Yeah.
When the doors came and the crowd was moving fast and it just started to happen. And a knife fell right there and the old head baby Loke was like, pick it up.
Yeah, yeah.
We was against the fence and I,
Yeah.
you know, with my feet scooping in and grabbing and stand up. Then he looked at me and told me, you got your first knife.
Yeah.
And they started shooting and we started running. I'm running thinking, man, I'm gonna get killed in here.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know, and then I just gradually took on that mentality for a while. And it was like, you know, it was on. Like, whatever you say, I'm gonna get you first.
Right.
I'm coming at you. We're gonna make an example. You know, and in prison is like a lot of guys deal with paranoia because it's so crazy because you'll say one thing to a guy, he'll walk off and you thinking it's nothing. He'll spin back later at your cell and be like, yo, what you meant by that?
Right.
Right? And you might not have meant nothing.
Yeah.
But that's how prison makes you.
Yeah.
You know, because when you can't hide behind a tree and just close your eyes and shoot a gun.
Yes.
Like this is up close and personal. So the men gonna be the men.
And I tell people that all the time, man. You know, in my stories, I be telling them, man, I say, y'all have no idea. I say, if you out here, man, and things going bad, you know, you ain't got this, you know, your job ain't going right, man, your girl, and you feeling all crazy and you want to go out here and do something, you know, stupid, not thinking, man, you have no idea, man. If you got your liberty, you are winning,
right.
man. You are winning.
That's
because
right.
I can promise you on that other side, man, you catching hell every day.
That's right.
Every day. And the only thing
right.
that you have to look forward to is the hope today ain't gonna be worse than yesterday.
That's right.
But you can expect the same thing that you got yesterday.
That's right.
You just hope it don't be worse.
That's right.
So when you out here, you winning, man. And, you know, like I said, you know, that's a testament to your, you know, your will to survive, man. Because like I say, you know, like I know, I seen dudes fold up in there, man. Dudes take their own life, you know, and dudes, you know, choose other routes, turn into dope fiends and to mask the pain. Mm-hmm. But for you to go through, you know, 26 years, 8 months, man, for something that you did not do, that's amazing, bro.
I pulled one dude down from that hunger cell that actually stayed in the cell beside me.
Right.
And, you know, they let us out the cells. They was clear counting late, you know how they be. But he was in the cell by himself. His cellie was gone. And everybody come out, we rushed to the TV. Then I look, we're not away, and dudes coming past the cell, and you see dudes, doing like that. Then the police went over there, it was a new police, and I said, man, let me go over and see what's going on. He's sitting up there hanging, you know, and I jump up there and grab him, like, yo, pull him down, you know. We get him down, try to work on him, whatever. But the next day they shipped me, that's how I got the power tank.
Right.
You know, to try to keep the family from getting in touch with me, you know. But it's these things that, you know, the outside would never know that you had to deal with. You know, a few of the homies lost their mothers.
Yeah.
You know, and they let you on their floor to holler at them or what have you, but, you know, you got to console them. It's like, it's a whole different world that was taking place while the world out here was taking place as well. So I tell people, you know, we don't do no complaining. Like, this is out here.
Yeah.
This all I asked for, so we're going to get to it out here. That's what living life behind life is about.
Absolutely.
We going to show you, man, you know, if you don't like something, change it.
Yeah, you know, it ain't no need to complain about nothing, man. Like I say, that's one thing I've learned since I've been out here. You know, I've been out here two and a half years. Just in a couple of days, be 2.5 years. And it's like, that's one thing that I noticed when I got off the top, man. Just everybody complain every day about the smallest, pettiest things. You know what I'm saying? And I just be looking at them, and to me, it just seems so asinine because I be like, man, you have no idea what dudes is going through in there every day.
No idea.
And it's like, them problems that y'all complaining about, I know some dudes that pray for them type of problems. They would love them type of problems.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Opposed to the ones that they have, waking up every day and not knowing what your fate is, not knowing if you're going to have to hurt somebody, put in some work, or somebody going to try to take your life. You know, and it don't necessarily mean you got to be beefing with somebody in prison, because somebody else could have their own thing going
It's
on.
mental health.
Yeah, they had their own thing going, and
yes.
they just come at you.
Yes.
And you got to do what you got to do.
I've
And
seen it.
Yeah, I said, man,
I've
the
seen
meekest
it.
person, a lot of people out here in life got the concept that if you go in prison, you know, you mind your business, you know, or you go to church, or you don't bother nobody, or you a man, it don't make no difference. Trouble is gonna knock on your door in prison. It's just as sure as grits as
groceries. And it ain't just us. Like, if the prison is too calm, the administration is gonna do something.
They gonna stir it up.
To stir it up.
They gonna stir it
They're gonna
up.
put up memos to agitate everybody. Look, nitpicking petty stuff.
Right.
Like, this is what it does. It's no, you just go do your time and all this. No, and then, you know, they're gonna put you in the cell with somebody. He may be mental health. Right. They don't want to deal with him. They had me in the cell with a dude, man. A dude, you know, he using the bathroom on himself. He ain't taking his meds, and I'm like, till I snapped one morning.
Right.
And opened the door. Cause he come back from breakfast and I'm in the bed sleep, bruh. And he just, you know, he inching to the toilet. And I'm like, yo, let me get out. And then he pull his pants down. Then I see the drop of doodle hit the toilet. Then he sat on it, and I jumped up and I lost it. I'm like, oh hell no, you getting me out of here?
Yeah.
No, and I popped it up. I'm like, no, he getting out now.
Yeah.
You know, and they called the sergeant and all them, and no, he was getting up out that cell then.
And they will put you in those positions.
Yeah, they put me in that position.
In those positions. And then, like I say, a lot of times when dudes locked up, like I say, it's just like out here in society, man. You know, what I've seen anyway from my perspective, man, it's just crazy, man. All these dudes just killing dudes, man, for nothing, man. And you killing your own people, and then you complaining and you putting the blame on somebody else. But a lot of times people would take their frustration out on what's in front of them, opposed to who's causing the frustration, you know. And I seen a profound joke today, man. I think it was either today or yesterday, man, and it just stuck in my head. Things like that stick in my head. But what you just said made me think about it. But it was like this dude he's saying, man, if you take a red ant and a black ant and you put them in the jar, and he said they won't do nothing to each other. They'll coexist. They'll survive. Mm-hmm. He said, but if you shake the jar, they'll start to try to kill each other. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said they're trying to kill each other because they've been shaken up and they don't know who the enemy is. Yeah. But that's not the enemy. The enemy is the one who shook the jar. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that's a metaphor to how prison is and how life is out here. We out here killing each other because we mad about the system. We mad about the way things are. But I didn't do it to you. The same dog bit you, bit me.
Yeah,
you
but
see what I'm saying?
But see, the clever thing is, if I can put you on remote control, see, they done went from just a whole lot of overt oppression. Like the slick tactic that came into play is to reprogram your consciousness. You could just look at the 60s. Our consciousness was totally different.
Right.
It was more unified. You know, we never had 100%. You're never gonna get 100%.
Right.
But the bulk of us was on the same page. Now, if we could reshape that consciousness, and like if I hate you, but I could get you to do to yourself what I want to do to you, right? Then that's genius. Because I can wipe my hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
See? So now they created a new consciousness. So when you look at the 6 o'clock news or you look at the hood, you know, who killing us? We killing us. Absolutely. But we represent a foreign consciousness that killed us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are a bit of that, you know?
Yeah.
So we say we hate the Klan or we hate this, that, and the third, but they done implanted their consciousness in us and we on remote control. Yeah. So I tell the youngest, say, I'm doing me. I said, you ain't been doing you in a long time. Yeah. When you came to these shores, they took your clothes, gave you theirs. They took your language, gave you theirs. They took your God, gave you theirs. You ain't been doing you in a long time. Yeah. If you look at it from a realistic, conscious perspective, this is what's taking place. That's why we see what we see. Until we attack their consciousness, that's why the program I'm teaching is the think tank. We're dealing with how I thought, how I think, how I should be thinking. Until we attack their consciousness and reprogram the mind of our youth, then we're going to see the same result.
Over and over again.
We're gonna see the same result, you know?
Well, tell them, man, what you, I know you had started the foundation to catch more kids even before you got out. So tell them about the Catch More Kids now, man, because I know they didn't moved out of Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, into other cities and
well,
other
Catch
areas.
More Kids is our nonprofit. Actually, my sister started Catch More Kids as a dedication to her brother, you know.
Right.
And that my story, my case put this young lady on a mission, Chanel Ketchmore. So, and our motto is to catch more kids than the street, catch more kids than the drug dealer, catch more kids than the gangs, you know? And we doing this by being active, like 2 feet on the ground, a consistent presence in their lives, a consistent frame of reference. So we do, we about to start the think tank pop-up shops in the projects.
Right.
You know, we going to the hood, because if we have them over here at the library and a lot of people not coming, so we coming in the hood and we're going to pop up out here and we're going to get to it. But we trying to reprogram the consciousness of our people, our mind, because we could deal with the root. You know, we could deal with the root, but if you just focus on changing the mind and not the world, that same old mind going to reproduce the same old world. I don't care where it go. So I hear dudes say, man, now you going back to Virginia, man. I said, yeah, Virginia ain't bad if you ain't going to prison. You know, or I'm ready to move to South Carolina. Yeah, but if you still taking that same consciousness to South Carolina, it's mess out there too. You'll find it.
Yeah, and that's the same thing I used to be in prison. Dudes used to get on one institution and say, man, I'm trying to go to Buckingham, man. I'm trying to go.
It's the same thing.
Man, you just going from one spot to another.
Oh, this spot's sweet. I ain't never seen a sweet prison. See, that's how they got us thinking that a prison is sweet.
You done heard that 1,000 times. Like, oh man, Buckingham's sweet. I ain't been in there. One of them that was sweet. Then when you get there, 9 times out of 10 it's worse than the one you came from. But dudes will put that out there and make you think that you missing something. You ain't missing nothing. Only thing you missing is your freedom.
Yeah, oppression. That joint, Sweden, they only hit you in the face one time over there.
Yeah.
Y'all getting hit 5 times.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. But it's the consciousness. This is what we have to really attack and be careful and understand, because you know this thing they call mental health or whatever. This is real.
Yeah.
Like we all suffer with something.
Yeah.
If you find those that say, man, ain't nothing wrong with me, then like they say, you the one insane.
Yeah,
it's some acute, some chronic, but we all dealing with some issue.
Absolutely, and then you know they say that PTSD thing, you know, for people who've been to war and they done been over here doing this and that. I don't know what they think prison is. If it ain't war, it ain't nothing.
Listen, I spoke at a Black History program in the prison at Powhatan.
Right.
I spoke during the day, so we had 2 classes. I was gonna speak at night. They stopped me. The unit manager, she pulled me in her office because the warden was sitting right there, and I said, we suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic Atlantic slave trade disorder. And she said, well, Ketchmore, you can't just say what you feel. I leaned in. I said, you do know the Atlantic slave trade took place, right?
Right.
You know, this ain't. I said one way or the other. We're all lumped into this situation because that trade, whether you're on this end of it or that end of it, we suffering, right? And man, she tried to tell me that when some people get offended because, you know, these people fought in the military. I said, listen, I'm talking about a Holocaust, woman. What are you talking about? They try to construe it just to military.
Yeah.
Right? But if you go in my neighborhood, you know, we had a killing last night, a murder last night. You know, if you ask some of the questions that they asked them, soldiers or whatever, when last time have you heard gunshots?
Right.
Have you experienced this? Have you experienced that? Then where we come from is war zones. What do you mean?
Yeah. And people get immune to it because they get, you know, it becomes habit, man, and they used to it, and they become immune to it. And when you become immune to it, man, that just make you more subject to be a victim of it, you know, and we got to change it, man. But like I say, you got to change the mindset. And I always say, man, if nothing changes, man, nothing changes, you know, but we got to change the mindset, man. But that's what we're going to be trying to do on this podcast, man. We're going to be bringing in guests. We're going to be talking to people. We're going to be talking to each other. And we're going to be trying to change the narrative, man, of the way that people is thinking and the way they seeing things. And we ain't going to have no cut card, man. We're going to be coming straight across the board. But
and we want an honest voice. Like we wanted, like living life after life. Both of us did life.
Right.
So we want to show, because listen, if you ain't about rehabilitation and helping the next person get back on their feet and get their life back, then you might as well take them out back and shoot them.
Right.
Don't fake with it.
Yeah.
Don't fake with it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we want to show people that after doing life, you know, wrongfully convicted, I'm still fighting to get it exonerated now. That's my fight. I'll deal with that. Right. However, we want to show people that no matter what you've been through, what you're dealing with, that you can come out here and still live life to the fullest. And whatever that definition is for you.
Right. And be productive.
And be productive.
You see what I'm saying? You've been out here, man, like I say, a year and some change, man, and I've seen you, I've watched you, you know what I'm saying, you doing your thing, you came out, you ain't miss a beat, and a lot of people be at all at that, like they be telling me, you know, you been out here 2 years, man, and you, why you always smiling, you was locked up for 33 years, I said I'm smiling because I ain't locked up now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, because I ain't locked up now.
You know how many years we had to sit around gritting?
Yeah, and then I always hit them
being serious about everything.
I always hit them with the basic answer, man, you know, if I would have came out here being bitter, being mad, you know, would it help? It's not gonna help nothing.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we gonna get it jumping, man, with this podcast, man.
So before we wrap up, y'all get ready. Living life after life. We got some guests coming up. We got some interesting conversation. We're gonna dialogue. I am Troy Ketchmore, Banky Pound. You can catch me at I am Troy Ketchmore YouTube. I am Troy Ketchmore Facebook or Instagram. Get ready, we coming. We're gonna have that talk.
Absolutely, and y'all already know where y'all can catch me at. TBP, man, y'all go support Troy Ketchmore, man. Y'all go support all his platforms.
Ketchmorekids.org.
Ketchmorekids.org. This is the partner right here. We gonna bring it to y'all live and direct. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all, as always, be safe, be smart. Make
Shout out to Norfolk State. Norfolk State.
For sure.
We getting it in. We right here.
Yeah.
We right here at Norfolk State.
This is Norfolk State facility, and we got some young, bright minds in here, man. Young, bright minds in here.
That's right,
so,
the future. We building with the
y'all
babies.
Go support this historical black college, man. And shout out to ECSU for having me up there.
We're going to bring them athletes back to these historically black colleges.
And y'all stay tuned,
because
I be here to speak soon too, man. I be here to speak soon to the basketball team, man. So y'all look out for that as well, man. But y'all stay tuned. We be hitting y'all in a minute. Y'all be safe out there, be smart, make good decisions, man, and duck them hooks, man. All them hooks.
Until next time.
Salute.
Salute.
I had to get to know my father through a jail phone. Just like my father on my dog, I never tell on. Locked us in cages just wishing that we could bail home. We were just trying to get a plate trapped to the mail.